something like, no hard feelings to my team. This is just something that they feel like is better for the team. And he said he was more focused on things like poker and wanted to put more of his focus on
that's
poker.
good at least, yeah.
And so it was a fine switch for him. So, big props to him for stepping up here. But yeah, one of the interesting things is that they've been scrimming so much recently with Chessie as him and the jungler, or him as the jungler and Z-Freak as the second support, or main support actually. And then now, with Skyzo stepping in right now, yeah, that is a question if Z-Freak's going to be playing the jungle role, Skyzo playing the suicide. Well, that means Keizu's going to be playing, like, what would he be playing?
I'm guessing he's. I don't know. That's where it's going to be interesting. I was going to say maybe they just won't go jungle. Maybe they'll go for more of a double support. But with the lock pool, I mean, that's probably not going to happen. We're definitely going to see a jungle here on either side. So yeah, it's obviously up to them. We'll see what they ultimately do, and we'll make a note of it once it comes about. But I also want to be very clear here, and I know there's going to be some opinions out there, which is fine. But it's like, oh well, this almost takes a little bit away from Lions, and not only with that first game victory there, but if they win the series now, there's going to be that asterisk of, oh well, Insania had issues and Skyzo had to come in and obviously cause some issues. But exactly, I mean, to be frank, bullshit. I mean, it's not Lions' fault. In the end, they're here, they're playing their game. It sucks. SD's dealing with these technical difficulties, whatever you want to call them. But
keep in mind, was this not the roster of SG that won the last cycle with Skyzo?
Yeah, very good point,
So there's no excuses.
Very good point. It definitely was. So, all right, though. Anyways, just get that out of the way. So here we are at the lock pool. Speaking of that, started off with Keeper, then a Tempest Master of Arms. Then we went in. Yeah, right. Then we went into Ophelia Parasite, and then Pebbles actually to finish off. So a very strong lock pool. And then, of course, we do have the bans coming out. Tundra, Engineer, Plague Rider, Silhouette, Fade, and now waiting on the last ban from Hanskin. You see, giving a shout out to Krebson right there. Yeah, he had a mistake to say the least with that Hellflower.
Yeah,
accidentally sold it.
Swindle was right-clicking that Moon Queen for like quite some time, as it does get finally banned by Hanskin. So it's gonna have to change what Swindle wants now as his first pick. But he was probably gonna snap pick that Moon Queen, as a lot of teams have been doing, picking up Moon Queen so fast as that first pick. It is going to be Glacius this time. I like that with so many junglers, specifically offensive junglers in that lock pick as well, Parasite and Ophelia. It's a great tool to have to defend your own jungle and then push the offensive jungler out of your jungle.
Yeah.
So Glacius is a smart first pick here.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that pick at all. Now back over to Lions, and again, you look at that lock pull, a very strong one. Now the Master of Arms in there, definitely you can argue perhaps the least value in there for most teams, but as we saw last game and as we've been stressing, Lions specifically COK, they love to run that Master of Arms in a support role. So similar to kind of like the Voodoo Jester with Q Squad. I know Nova went that phase. This doesn't seem like much anymore, but hey, if it works for you. So we'll see again this time around how they value the Master, and that, kind of my point being, you do have an Aluna open here, Engineer not open, but you have an Aluna open here, so whether or not Lion picks up Aluna here will help us determine, if they maybe pick up the Master of Arms. But Hanskin definitely thinking about it, using a little bit of extra time. There's the Hammerstorm Aluna pickup, and I know you mentioned this in the interview with Hanskin, talking about the Hammerstorm and why they value him. Very likely you can see the Aluna Hammerstorm combo.
Yeah, and it's very strong. Obviously, he talked about specifically Hammerstorm and Engineer, but Engineer being banned here, Aluna's a strong pick, the next runner-up, so to speak, that can lane very, very effectively with Hammerstorm. So I like those picks coming out from Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very strong indeed. So now back over to Stay Green. See, looks actually right-clicking Myrmidon here. I don't know if we should expect to see that by any means, but anyways, as they do especially have their support, you could safely say, in Glacius. So, something like a carry here is definitely possible. They're going to go with Deadwood as their pickup so far. And again, Swinamel's definitely showing that he loves, and not only loves to, but he plays a damn good Deadwood and plays it very well. So, very solid pickup there, you could argue. But again, this last pick, leaning more on the carry side of things, would make sense, but you don't have to at the same time. You absolutely don't have to. So we will see what Swindle ultimately decides here. Again, thinking about it, you got Dark Lady, Forsaken Archer.
I would pick some kind of carry here, and I think, well, you just said Dark Lady. I think Dark Lady would be pretty strong here. They go Soul Stealer, so interesting. I'm interested to see how they lane this now. They will have options if they go aggressive jungle. Like if they go, or aggressive tri-lane, I should say, in the long lane. With like Ophelia Glacius plus, something else. So now the thing is they might bank on Lions not picking that Pebbles because they already have a strong dual lane mid, but they still easily could pick the Pebbles right now. They could pick up like a Suicide right here, have Pebbles solo short, or even just Pebbles a Luna mid and then Hammerstorm solo short. So I know it sounds kind of interesting and we don't see this, but they still could do that.
Yeah.
I feel like SG's banking on getting Pebbles as their last pick out of the lock pick phase.
We'll see. Lions is thinking about their last pick now in the regular picking phase, that is. Again, as far as their options here, they could go carry themselves when it comes down to it. You know, so again, something like the Dark Lady Forsaken, still looking at that, but obviously up to Hanskin in the end, and it is going to be Magebane actually. So going the Magebane route, and he's kind of dabbled back on the competitive scene a little bit lately. So seems like we were stressing for the longest time. Where did he go? Where did he go? And well, this last week or so, he's been popping up again. Keeper of the Force is going to be the first pick. Not much thought put into that coming out for Stay Green here in the lock pool. But now back over to Lions. You got to assume maybe at least the Parasite or the Ophelia. And then who else from there we'll see. But
I mean, yeah. The thing is SG is now going to have an option to take Tempest, Parasite, or Ophelia. Any of those, really, to be their jungler if they do Keeper like in the long lane. So you can't prevent that from happening at this point if you're Lions. Tempest. They do go Tempest, and they also go Parasite. Interesting. So I wonder how we're going to see Tempest lanes. If he's going to be in that Suicide role. Perhaps we might see that. I've never been a big fan of it, but now we're probably going to see, I would safely assume, Ophelia coming out here. Giving them Keeper Ophelia is kind of scary, though.
Again, we have seen this Tempest mid dabble a little bit lately.
We have.
So the aggressive pseudo trial lane. Oh, look at that line. We talked about that team synergy earlier. They love to show that off. So not the most perfect, but that was up there.
It was pretty damn good.
It's difficult to do, man, with the lane. Oh, look at the quick response from Stay Green. I don't know. I think Lions was a little bit better, and actually,
way better.
Of course, yeah. Zfreak was like, "Wait a second, were we doing something?" All right, so having some fun there in the readying up. But okay, here we go. You're right. At the same time, though, you in a sense gave them, albeit it was was there much that they could have done, but they got Keeper and Ophelia. Very, very dangerous combo of heroes to let one team have, but. It's how it played out. Hell, they got the power of the trees for that matter. Keeper and Deadwood. Too often we see that.
Yeah, I wonder if Tempest would go solo mid. And then they would have, Magebane solo top as a short lane. He does have pooled regen, so yeah, he's going to be going top. And then they would have a very strong, aggressive jungle of Parasite, Hammerstorm, and Luna.
Well, Tempest gets a lot of regen, actually, so I assume they might be going mid.
He does get a lot of regen and, yeah, a lot of consumables, so he could be going mid. Again, I'm not quite sure. The only good thing that the SG has working for them is the Glacius is quite nice against a Parasite pick. Now, Parasite obviously can take over a creep from Ophelia, and that's kind of annoying for Ophelia's sake. But it's not the most practical thing. They got to be careful, though. They're looking for level 1 engagement. SG has all 5 members here, and they do spot them out. So
Parasite's not much of a use here.
None at all.
One, yeah.
In fact, okay, he did level up in Fest, and I think that's a smart thing to do because there are times when you're like, oh, if I just got my nuke, I could have got the first blood. Cool, but you will regret it. I guarantee you will regret it.
Yeah.
But even if you get the first blood, same thing goes for like Legionnaire. If you get like your taunt at level 1, and then you're like, oh god, even though I got first, I can't do anything for a whole level. Yeah, you'll regret it. So just force yourself, get the infest, and then go from there.
Yeah, but it looks like we are going to see the pseudo-aggressive trial and the Tempest mid and the Magebane top. So Lions kind of bringing that to the table, and maybe this is the start of something. You brought it up yesterday with complexity specifically. It seems like this whole Tempest mid strat has definitely been running. We saw it even a couple times yesterday, I want to say. And sure enough, we see it here from Lions today. So again, it's one of these things that happens from time to time. Of course, that's how transitions happen in the competitive scene. One team tries it works out. Other teams kind of dabble in it as well, and before you know it, it becomes a standard. So we do have a Tempest versus Deadwood here. With that said, to start things off. Again, kind of an odd matchup. Wouldn't expect to see it maybe, but that also means we have Pseudo Trilane against Pseudo Trilane at the bottom lane. Parasite is going to find Ophelia right here. And again, he has that infest if he can find the minute. But look at Zfreak actually. By the way, Zfreak is playing Ophelia, as actually he's going to be forced to take over the Gotar instead, trying to run away, taking a lot of auto attacks. Will be fine, but very good job by Zfreak, I must say. He actually hid the Minotaur here in the trees, keeping it away from Parasite.
I forgot. Okay, it totally slipped my mind, so I apologize. But when they were running Skies, he actually tries to stack that pole right there, but doesn't get it. He wouldn't have got it anyway because the Water Sight was there. blocking it. But yeah, Skyzo was playing their hard support.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, okay, I thought for some reason that he was as the suicide, but they still
He
had
used to
Casey.
be, but
yeah, he did, and then they
changed
switched it to
with Slicks actually when he came on and whatnot. So
yeah, so yeah, it totally failed me. But yeah, he has the hard support and playing that role this game. And yeah, like I said, Glacius is good in the sense that you can keep that jungler out and keep him away from you and force him out of your jungle. But you know, regardless, I still feel like Soulsteal is going to have a really hard time here in this bottom lane against the Luna Hammerstorm. They do have vision up to spot out the Ophelia if she tries to come here and gank, so they will see that. Hopefully they don't invest too far up in the lane on a Soulstealer. Now Skyzo did pull actually this creep wave, but it was a single pull, and that's going to push up the lane as a result. So interesting
yeah,
pull
and
there.
well, you also got to wonder too, are they going to try to counter that Ward of Sight there? And obviously they know it's there. Will they try to counter it? Nothing coming out just yet here as far as a rev board. So even at this rate, it might even be a little bit too late. But yeah, definitely going to push up the lane. Soulsteal will get a couple of creep kills here at least, but Hammerstorm should be working a little bit better for him. Aluna, the Invis rune, going to be picked up at the bottom lane, so good job by Aluna protecting that rune as Glacius and Ophelia were nearby, but able to get it first. But again, Hammerstorm, his farm 7-1 right now, compared to actually the 7-2 Soulstealer. So Soulstealer, especially with how the creep lane was right there, he was able to get some decent creep kills. Actually, he's playing aggressive there. He does not know Aluna's here, of course, so that was almost a dangerous spot to be in. But in the end, they don't initiate. So this is going to be a mass push as far as the creep wave goes. And the Hammerstorm will definitely hit level 3 right here. And for his sake, hopefully get some good creep kills. He snipes one right there from a denied attempt from Soulstealer. Anyways, this middle matchup, I'm actually intrigued by this. Tempest versus Deadwood. We have Krebson versus Swindlemelons here. So far, right now, you have a Deadwood 17-5 against a Tempest who's 3-1. Safe to say Deadwood's winning this.
By a long shot. My God, we actually saw both Zai solo mid as Tempest and then Moon Meander actually solo mid as Tempest, and they had actually pretty good success, but not the same here. And the difference is that Deadwood just has so much damage with that hatchet.
Oh, bottom lane, Soulstealer's in a lot of trouble. Parasite chasing as a Legion, 4 seconds, not even going to matter. Bloodlust kill comes out as Aluna snipes Soulstealer with the power throw. I did just catch the tail end of that, so I'm not exactly sure how it started, but again, you got to figure. Hammerstorm initiation with Aluna there, and especially Parasite. You mentioned it's going to be difficult for Soulstealer, and it showed right there. He just cannot escape.
Yeah. But yeah, this mid lane is just going not well at all for Tempest, and he should have. I feel like he should still have a little bit more farm than this. But Deadwood, it's really difficult. I mean, when he has that log that he's holding, it's 101 damage. Not to mention you have the extra damage from the hatchet, and you can use that to both deny and then snipe out some creep kills. The rune is spawning. They're controlling top with Deadwood. They're controlling bottom with both Glacius and Ophelia, and it does spawn bottom. It's not a huge game-breaking rune, but it is a rune that's secured.
Yeah, I will say, Skyzo and Glacius, he really hasn't been in the lane at all. He's kind of just been doing, assisting Ophelia even here in the jungle. Obviously, you think about it, if he was down here, he would be very, very susceptible to getting killed himself, I guess, so maybe it makes sense, but just something to keep in mind. Now, Soulstealer did a pretty good job right there of landing some Demon Hands and taking advantage of the fact he has his level 2 Demon Hands at least, and getting some okay creep kills, but obviously sitting on that death. And now a 15-3 creep farm, not the best of starts. But no doubt Deadwood is having that great start, and he will need to have a big impact here for State Green. The way this laning phase is going on, that's for sure. How's Magebane doing, by the way, at the top lane? Speaking of that, Magebane currently, what is he at, 19-2 compared to a 25-7 Keeper. So Keeper's actually having the better time when it comes to creep farm here at the top lane, Trout.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the same idea. He just has, even though you burn, like I'm thinking initially, cool, Magebane can burn all Keeper's mana, and he can't use his Nature's Veil to get that armor and that health regen. But it doesn't really matter. You still have so much high base damage. Oh, Tempest is in a world of hurt right here. Gets caught out, and then gets the punch onto him. Nothing you can do. That's just Deadwood hitting level 6, and you don't have boots, or you can't evade the ultimate once you're slowed like that. So,
yeah.
Yep, Swindlemelon's picking up a kill there in the mid lane.
Yeah. So it seems like, honestly, it's going a little bit better for State Green with that said. I mean, you also think about it, Parasite hasn't really done much. Obviously, well, okay, he did help set up the Bloodlust kill, sure, but he's been at the top jungle since that happened. He's been kind of farming a little bit up here. In fact, he's right on a ward of sight that was placed by Keizu, and actually blocking this camp here. Kind of interesting.
They're going for a dive behind bottom.
Oh, yes, they are. Who's that? Ophelia's coming from behind. The Skeleton King and the Vagabond leader actually. Hammerstorm's in some trouble. There's Thunder from the Vagabond, the Skeleton King net, and down goes Hammerstorm. Very good setup from State Green. The power throw connecting. Zephyr taking a little bit of damage there, but in the end he'll be fine. So good coordination from Stay Green there.
Yeah, good dive right there. Even on the Hammer Storm, too, it's great that they got the kill onto him and not just the Aluna. They really need that. Now, Invis Parasite, he did pick up an Invis rune, maybe looking to do something bottom, but yeah, even though you had Glacius kind of helping out your Ophelia, and you couldn't get to the creeps as fast as you wanted to, he's actually going to sit mid. They're going to need another hero here, though. Tempest did just hit level 6, but this is a pretty tanky Deadwood, over 1100 HP, actually.
Wow.
So Aluna's making her way, but even then, I question if they'll have enough damage to take him down. It'll be close.
Yeah, not having the face hug I think is the biggest thing. I mean, that's a good chunk of damage you're missing out on. An extra 200 magic damage for that matter. If he was level 6 and had that face hug. So yeah, they're just not going to really open on a Swindle. Swindle played passive enough as well. And instead, he'll just go to the jungle and looks like he even helps stack a yellow camp right there. Maybe look to clean it up. But again, overall, it seems like Stay Green having a little bit better of the time. Still there. Obviously, he is somewhat struggling, but not the worst thing in the world, especially with Soul Stealer. Again, you think of heroes that can have a poor start and come back. Soul Stealer is definitely one that comes to the front of the mind. I mean, this guy with those demon hands, he will just get a lot of power. Actually, middle in the Tempest ultimate was used in mid Falcon Punch, but here comes Ophelia. There's a Falcon Punch from Deadwood, and down he goes. So Tempest, I mean, you got to question that a little bit, honestly, because if he had support coming, it would have made a lot more sense. He had no one coming.
Yeah.
Even if the ultimate was full duration and Ophelia wasn't there, he still would have got hit by the ulti from Deadwood and maybe died anyway. So
yeah, it really didn't. I totally agree. It really didn't make any sense. So not only did you die, but you also wasted a huge cooldown right there that could have been set up for a kill after you died. So he's not going to have that for quite some time. That's really bad for them. Magebane, his farm has picked up. It's not actually evened out with the Keeper of the Forest. And the one thing I will say and comment about Soulstealer in particular is he is their carry for this game, and yeah, he does bounce back very, very nicely. But the thing is he could possibly be competing in the jungle with Ophelia. So it's one thing to keep in mind is that Ophelia obviously is sitting in the jungle trying to get as much farm as possible. They are stacking it, but Ophelia for now is going to be taking those stacks. And if Soulstealer takes over the jungle, you have to make sure that you have a good start at least on killing like enemy towers, so that you can keep pressure like in the other jungle with Ophelia while Soulstealer farms yours.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a good point. I mean, you just see him again over here and gonna take advantage of what Glacius is setting up for him. And actually, Glacius even got that Skeleton King kill right there. I don't even know if that was on purpose. He had it frozen, so just happened to take down. It's a little bit unfortunate there, but anyways, Slicks will go back to the bottom lane, try to pick up farm. Tempest, obviously, he's transitioned to kind of the bottom lane himself. Has kind of stepped up more of a suicide Tempest now. Obviously, we're now 9 minutes into the game, so even transitioning a little bit out of that early laning phase, but nonetheless, making a change here. Super KGE playing this Hammer Storm. Now, his farm himself, it really isn't shining by any means. Of course, he did get dove at the tower, and obviously that slowed him down. But right now, he's only around 286 gold per minute. Now, he does have Steam Boots already. There's 750 gold saved up. That's good. The top lane, we could have some possible initiation looking like to come up. Well, Parasite takes over the Catman champion, but not going to look to do anything. Again, it is a keeper. He is out of mana for the most part. In fact, there we go, but he does have over 1,000 life, so yeah, I don't know if they can necessarily get a kill, but they are going to go for it. There's the face side. They do have a mana rift to use as well. Will this be enough damage coming out? Where's the mana rift? No, not going to use the mana rift, actually. And the Keeper of the Force will easily survive, and in the meantime, bottom tower going down in favor of Stay Green, so they're picking up some momentum early on.
Yeah, and I guess you could have tried for the mana rift, but I agree. I don't think it really would have killed him. And you did see there that Ophelia did heal, and even so, if he was still on par with that heal, it wouldn't have killed Keeper of the Forest. So yeah. You're just too tanky at this point. Even like I said, even though you burn out all that mana, your auto attacks don't really do that much damage right now from Magebane. So you burn the mana, and then that's that. And then you still have the high base damage from Keeper, which is 113 actually now with Ghost Marchers. Before then, it was still pretty damn high. So that's why Keeper has been able to still get good farm. Actually, still ahead of Magebane in the creep kill department.
Jeez. Yeah, 329 gold per minute compared to 287. That was the middle tower, I believe. Yeah, Super KG does deny the middle tower, but again, that's a tower dead nonetheless. The bottom secondary tower is also being pushed in here by Stay Green. And they look like they want to go for the kill. It's in deny range now. Port is coming. And Glacius being frozen. There's a Hammer Storm on. He will fall to one more auto attack as that Brute Strength is activated. Now he's going for Ophelia. There's a net onto Ophelia right there. Skeleton King was taken over by Parasite. And now Ophelia's on the run. Can she actually get away? No, she cannot. She'll eventually fall. And Soulster was able to get away, by the way. He ported back, or he got ported back, I should say. But he does stay alive. Meanwhile, the top lane, though, is going to be taken out by our Legion team as Deadwood and Keeper of the Forest come together to push that in. So still Stay Green makes something pretty good happen of that. And again, despite the bottom tower, was it denied, I'm guessing?
No.
No, it didn't get denied. It actually got destroyed by
He tried
Zuzek,
for it. Hanskin tried for it, but he couldn't do it.
Well, that's even worse then.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then they can't lose these towers. Like, they don't have any towers for themselves. Not so much the gold lead that they're going to have. And Deadwood now has his portal key. Could be looking on a kill onto Magebane right now. He has some team support behind him. He goes for the Rotten Grass, but it's going to miss. He might still go for this.
Yeah. I mean, Luna's nearby. She's level 5. Magebane not the tankiest. I mean, he only has 700 life right now with the agility steam boost, so this is the time, if any, honestly. Okay, there's the Rotten Grasp. He changes the steam boost to strength. There's a Falcon Punch and the last auto attack to finish him off. Luna was there. It's almost as if they knew that was coming, but it still gets the kill, and Deadwood gets the hell on out of there, so making quick use of that portal key.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, like I said, even though the towers are down for Stay Green, it's more important that you get towers for Lions just simply for map control. Like the gold lead, it doesn't. You will win this in the very late stages of the game, no question, with Magebane, Hammerstorm, Tempest, or what have you. You'll win it late game, but you need the map control because it will allow you the vision to farm with. And they don't have any of that because they don't have a single tower down. In fact, mid lane is not even touched, top lane not even touched. Not even a point of damage has been done to these.
Wow.
Okay, maybe a little bit in the bottom, like 45 damage or 65 damage, 55 damage. But yeah, just no damage has been done. So they're going to be kind of pinned into their base. And when you have a portal key up on onto Deadwood as well, like where can you farm safely? And you're going to be forced to get some tanky items, especially on Magebane, because you might think about getting that Helm of the Black Legion on him instead of a Rune Cleaver at this point.
That's what I was going to say. Obviously, he does have the live tube and the Iron Buckler here. I mean, they usually do, but he usually still goes into Rune Cleaver. But exactly, with the way this game's going and the team you're going up against, Helm of the Black Legion definitely wouldn't put it past Flensmeister picking up here. So we'll see. We'll see what he eventually goes for, though. You got your Hammerstorm. He actually has enough gold for the portal key now, by the way, and that's of course big. And he purchases it right there. So you got a level 8 Hammerstorm, portal key picked up. You know, we'll see what use he can make of that, however. So you got Luna and Parasite. Again, Parasite, Hanskin, he's 1-0-1, so it's not like he's been AFK by any means, but again, it just doesn't seem like he has ultimately had the biggest impact this game, unfortunately. Beastheart is purchased by Magebane, so he is definitely going for the Helm of the Black Legion here to finish that, as there we go, it's delivered. So in the meantime, you got Slicks. He's definitely recovered pretty damn nicely in farm. 360 gold per minute himself. He actually just picked up his Warhammer with that Mighty Blade, so Shrunken Head is going to be his first item of choice. He'll have that good to go here shortly, and another 1,800 gold saved up on KZU playing this Keeper. So again, things are just coming together a lot more nicely here for Stay Green. Top lane once again, Magebane is in trouble. He does have the helm now, though. I mean, you look at he's nearly 1,200 life for those steam boots on strength. So now Swindlemelons is like, might not be a kill. He'll fall back. He is at level 11, though. Once he gets level 11, maybe he'll go for it.
Yeah, maybe he will. I still think that he's pretty damn tanky on Flensmeister. As long as he keeps those steam boosts to strength, I think he'll be okay. They do now have some vision for him, though. They have a lane ward right there, and they don't have vision like through the top rune, but they can see pretty much, you know, where the rest of the team of Stay Green is. So he'll be able to farm up here. But the thing is he'll be farming slow. Like, if he had a Rune Cleaver, he could be blinking and catching up by, you know, farming stacks with the cleave ability. But yeah, he's farming relatively slow, which is the bad thing for Team Lions. They do have the portal key up on the Hammerstorm, but where can they really use it? Like, who can he really use it with? I suppose the Parasite, but you know, they're just kind of, like I said, they're just kind of pinned on their side of the map and can't really move around.
Something to note here, too, speaking of Hammerstorm, he actually did go level 4 Galvanize. He hasn't put a level into stats. Usually we see at least 1, if not 2 levels into stats, with only the 1 level to Galvanize, but he did max out Galvanize, and what that does, you know, the movement speed stays the same, but it goes from eventually 3 armor at level 1 to 9 armor actually at level 4. And you do figure that you are going up against really this Deadwood especially, so you can argue that that's definitely a good choice here.
It is.
From Hammerstorm, so.
And it reduces the cooldown by quite a bit, too.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, from 36 to 18, so yeah, very good reduce. That's half, I guess, so. Pretty damn good, but look at this. Speaking of Keeper and Ophelia, here we go. Massive push now here in the middle secondary tower, and obviously Lion is like, you guys can have that. We're not going to stop you. There's no point for us even trying. Go ahead and take that outer tower. There is now only one more outer tower remaining on Stay Green, well, on Lion's side. And going back to the point you stressed earlier, I mean, you just look at Stay Green's towers themselves. The fact that not only are all of them up, but little to no damage has been done on any of the initial towers. So, now, as I say that, it looks like the top tower may get pressured here by Magebane Parasite, but man, that's a big tower deficit. 5-0. You're looking at an 8,600 gold lead already for our Legion team. And there's the Shrunken Head just finished on Slicks, by the way. Which
is a huge item pickup here. It's going to stop all the stuns and whatnot. The silence from Parasite when he uses the face hug. So they're in a fantastic spot right now. And again, you still have to think about, is it worth giving up both Keeper and Ophelia on the same team? Because those two are doing a lot for their team. Obviously, Glacius helped out Ophelia to start with, but the huge pushing that's going on right now. You have how many towers? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towers down. Almost every single outer tower at this stage of the game, 16 minutes, against a Magebane who's just simply not able to farm now anywhere as a result.
Yeah. By the way, what did I notice? Oh yeah, Abyssal Skull actually picked up by Keeper, so not going, you know, maybe the Portal Key or the Astrolabe we see a lot, but going the Abyssal Skull as his first item of choice, and you know, definitely perhaps has a lot to do with the fact that he does have an Ophelia teammate, and she can take care of a lot of those items that he may normally get, such as the Astrolabe for that matter. But you like the Abyssal Skull choice here on Keizu?
I would have still just got Blink. I don't know. I think Blink would have. Maybe this is just like they want to start grouping up and pushing all together as 5 right now and going to the base. But I mean, they already got all the outer towers, and I think they would have regardless. So it's not like a bad pickup. I would have preferred to see the Blink personally.
Man, Tempest he's getting nothing this game.
Struggling, to say the least.
He really is getting nothing. Only 166 gold per minute. He doesn't even have a Ring of Sorcery yet, which I assume he's still going for with that Amulet of the Exile. Here comes the top push, though. They're going to try to counter push a little bit here in the middle lane. But, I mean, they're going to lose the top tower, but, you know, can they stop this? Probably not anyway, so they're just going to try to make an exchange happen. And they're really not even going full force into it, though, either. So they're going to kind of let this top tower fall, and I don't even know if they're going to get this middle tower, depending on what Stay Green does here. It is going to fall, looks like, and, okay, they should get it. Vulnerability comes out. There's one port at least coming in, I think a couple even. And, yeah, they should be able to get the deny on it. Oh, so close right there by Keizu. Does get the deny. So a tower's dead, but here we go. Looks like they want to initiate. In fact, Hammerstorm jumps in. Tempest is ready to go as well with the ultimate. There we go with the Tempest ultimate. No stoppage on him. Ophelia doesn't have that Skeleton King. In comes Keeper the Force. He's trying to get. Oh, we got ported back actually by Ophelia. So all for naught. And now here's the return. Deadwood with a Falcon Punch on a Hammerstorm right there. He didn't even galvanize. He falls. And in the meantime, Parasite will take over the creep, the Minotaur that is, to try to run away. But now he is being chased down. Going to try to port out right here. It's going to be close. Going to be close. Going to be close. No, the Minotaur stun comes out. And Hanskin will also fall. So they are able to push the bottom tower as Magebane specifically, but a big turnaround fight from Stay Green there.
Yeah, really well played by Z-Freak specifically. Just using that knowledge of being able to port back heroes inside that ultimate even. So he goes back. I was wondering for a second there too. I was like, where the hell did he go? But he got ported back by Ophelia. Then at the same time setting up the kill onto the TP right there using the Minotaur right in the nick of time. They're moving right over to Congo right now. Have a huge team to do so with all the minions and then all the people surrounding them. Astrolabe up onto Z-Freak as well, so he's playing really well on Ophelia this game.
Yeah, again, I don't. Z-Freak is a very good jungler. It was just a question of, you know, he is going to be moving to more of that support role with Chessie joining the team, and he has been playing a lot of pure support lately. But of course, he's a great jungler, so not really that surprising at the same time to see him doing so well. Conqueror is going to fall Keizu. They try to maybe steal the kill if anything, but not going to happen. You see the Skeleton King from Z-Freak actually is going to trap Aluna here, and Aluna may fall. Deadwood jumps in. Hammerstorm though with the counter stun. Magebane thinking about it, but no, he'll just blink away. And again, the Hellborn team realizing not worth picking a fight right now. So Conqueror goes down, token of life on Soul Stealer. Yeah, on Soul Stealer. And we'll see if Stay Green feels comfortable pushing into the base. Look at Magebane actually right next to Glacius, by the way. I don't even think they've saw each other. But he'll blink away before. Granted, Deadwood is here. Deadwood has an ultimate and a portal key. Magebane has blink in 2 seconds, though, and I think Deadwood's not going to go for the risk. Blinks for the other way does Magebane. He's going to take the log to the face. The Rotten Grasp will connect, but no mana on Deadwood now for his ultimate. And I guess Magebane should be fine. He has a Firebrand purchase, by the way, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give him some extra movement speed. He's actually just going to go bottom and farm this wave. I like that style. I like that. But I think right now Lions is just banking on like a big Tempest ultimate once he gets that portal key. That's pretty much all they have left in this game. I mean, yeah, they have Magebane, which is great in the late game against the team that SG has, because they don't really have that much late game, but there's just too much of an early game presence and too many items onto this team that it's, like I said, it's difficult for Magebane to find that farm. 335 gold per minute, but that's not where it needs to be at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to do his best to maybe even take down this tower if Stay Green doesn't look to defend. In fact, he blinks into the next creep wave, so he really is just getting some aggression. But look at their base in the meantime. In fact, Dewa jumps in, and a Luna basically this one-shot right there, the combo of the Falcon Punch, and the Lockdog gets the kill. The tower falls. Tempest is here, but the last thing you want to do for your lines is get picked off one by one. You do have a Parasite's level 11, but these melee racks, they are dropping quickly. Will they look to initiate? Magebane is still not back here. He is still pushing that bottom lane. Tempest gets jumped, and look at that. Soul Stealer with the ultimate just absolutely destroys him. Melee racks are going to fall. Lions basically concedes them. The racks, that is. And there you go. So Stay Green gets both of the racks and immediately go bottom. It becomes a point for Lions that you got to do something. You can't just keep saying, all right, take our racks.
It's, what can you do, though, is keep her Ophelia, man. They have so much push. They're pretty damn tanky with the armor being spread out among the team to keep her. And they're going to force this issue. Now, they still have the Token of Life up on the Soul Stealer. He's not scared of anything. And actually has it for another 4 minutes, but this could be another set of racks. Yeah. And I don't know how Lions are going to respond to it if they get these racks down.
Tempest is up. He actually just finished an Astrolabe. He was maybe trying for that portal key, but realized it's not going to happen, at least at this time. So he's kind of charging in right here, but in fact, Hammerstorm jumps in, the stun onto Ophelia, but not the greatest follow-up. Tempest will get annihilated in the background. Magebane blinking aggressively right there. Parasite being taken out. Hammerstorm is here with Magebane, though, but Magebane doing little to no damage. The Glacial Downpour doing a lot of work. The Mana Rift going to be, is not even going to get killed, though, on a Glacius. So now Hammerstorm's just on the run, but he will end up falling. I think Lions is getting close to a point of, okay, man, how to work this game. Let's move on to the third and final game, because it's just too powerful. You keep going back to that. Stay Green's lineup is just too powerful for you to deal with.
Yeah, and I think that, yeah, it's a couple things. One, just Tempest just got annihilated mid. Absolutely destroyed mid. I mean, I still feel like he should have done a little bit of a better job. Like, yeah, Deadwood, he has amazing high base damage, especially with the hatchet. Here was just really hard and difficult to get last hits against, but what was it, 2 to like 17 at one point? It was just, it was way too much. And you can even use the elementals. Yeah, you can use them to deny, but in a 1v1 situation, do you really need to deny that much? I don't think so. I think you can take some free CS every once in a while with those elementals, but even then, I just feel like he could have performed a little bit better in mid. But good job by Swindlemelons for just, simply having a better time in mid.
Yeah.
And then ultimately the keeper I don't know why I always say keeper Tempest, but keeper Ophelia combination is just so strong. Like, there's so much push right there. And Glacius did a good job about keeping Parasite out of the woods, like I said, so much that Parasite actually switched jungles and honestly wasn't able to really do anything up in the top lane because it's a keeper. He's too damn tanky to game.
Yeah. Well, obviously Lions, they are still hanging in here. I mean, again, it's just a huge deficit right now in the Legion's team favor. As, look at, we always talk about Slick. He definitely does some odd things at times. He actually just picked up a Icon of the Goddess.
Yeah.
Again, okay, he sold it actually, so he was trolling us. He had it for a while, so I thought he might have actually been going through with it, but no, he did sell it, and actually, there you go. He purchases a Firebrand at least, and it's going to eventually be a Geometer's Bane. A Sacrificial Stone, by the way, also purchased on Dewa. Tempest going to get jumped to the top lane. He was kind of just sitting there in the lane, just attacking creeps, but he died shortly after. And Hammerstorm's going to jump in right here. They're going to go for killing a Deadwood, it looks like, of all heroes. But in comes a Room from Keeper. Hammerstorm going to get turned on. Magebane gets turned on with the Soul Stealer ultimate. GG's are playing called. Clearly Lions, again, they knew it was basically over. They were just hoping for one last fight. Didn't really happen, though. So Stay Green will take game number 2, it looks like. And that means we are going to a third and final game, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Losers Bracket Finals between Stay Green and Lion Esports Club. So there you go. Again, as Skyzo stepping in.
Yeah.
As the 5th right here in this series, at least. Due to Insania having those connection issues and whatnot. And he did just fine. Did more than enough for his team. And Stay Green, beautiful lineup and great play, leads to a victory.
Yeah, so, yeah, big props to Skyzo for stepping in there, and just well played overall by Stay Green. And honestly, I just think had a superior lineup that time. And the Glacius, like I said, it was actually first picked by Stay Green. And like I mentioned, against the aggressive junglers with Ophelia and Parasite, it's a very, very good tool to both protect your jungler and then keep the other jungler out.
Yeah.
Specifically Parasite in this case. So good job, well played.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch for that. So you know what? Again, that means we're going to be game number 3. So despite all the delays we had earlier, that game definitely picked it up and went straight through. So hopefully, we go into the 3rd game here. Same kind of momentum, and going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see what happens. Again, the winner of this series will play Trademark Esports in the grand finals, who, of course, are waiting patiently. They're probably even watching this series, I'm sure. At least a couple of their players. They're going to see who they're going to be playing in the later match today in those grand finals. Best of 5 with them up 1-0. So going to be fun. We are going to take a short break, though, ladies and gentlemen, so sit tight one more time here. But we got game number 3, Lions taking on Stay Green. Stay tuned.